Married at First Sight Australia, Episode 23. So as you saw, the night ended on a sour note, as per usual. This morning, everybody's woken up with the same thing on their mind, talking about last night's events. We also heard the chickens, the cock crowing, that woke people up. And then we saw Georgia and Liam go to the chicken coop to try and rescue some eggs for breakfast. We also saw Patrick and Belinda come and join them for breakfast once they smelt the bacon. And all they could talk about were the events of last night. Yep, nothing else. In short, Liam said that if Bryce would just come in, apologise to Beck, tell her he's sorry for this, he's sorry for that, he's sorry for this, he's sorry for that, he'll be very much like, congratulations, you've just manned up. Simple. End of story. Let's move on. But he can't see Bryce doing it. Can't see it happening. That's what he said. Coming on to Alana and Jason. These two slept in separate rooms. Yeah, we've gathered that. Jason's woken up on his own, in a strop. Doesn't want to get out of bed. Doesn't want to do anything today. Sulky. Little boy. I've told you already. I told you about him. He's a big kid. He's a big kid. Sulking. I ain't got time for it. When it came to Alana, we found out that she was sharing rooms with Booker. Yeah, she was all emotional this morning, talking about the relationship and the argument with Booker, and how when it comes to emotions, she gets tearful about it. She thought her and Jason were on a good note, were getting on well, and then this happens again. Ugh, I can't keep up. It's the same old thing. Nothing changes. And as she says, when it comes to apologising, he won't be the one to apologise. It'll be me trying to make things better. I have no time for big kids. No time for it. Come to me when you're grown up. With hearing Alana's story, Booker's reflecting on her own relationship with Brett, and she's thinking, Brett's not that bad. When she looks at Alana's relationship, let alone anybody else's, Brett is not that bad. So she's reflecting. I'm hoping that these two come to some sort of middle ground today. We're gonna see. We then saw Brett also reflecting on the relationship. He didn't get a chance to speak to Booker last night because of all the shenanigans that went on. So hopefully today, he says, he wants to sort of, if they can, squash everything, forget about the past, let's start again from scratch. Because as he says, he sees a lot of magic between the two of them. And he wrote stay because he sees potential. He sees hope within this relationship. So, again, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Actually, these two got to talk sooner than planned. We next saw these two talking on the porch outside, and then they went to feed the ducks. And whilst feeding the ducks, they were having their talk. In short, I'm just going to end up repeating the same thing I've just said. But to add, they're looking to start again on a fresh note. But as Booker said, she can't forget. She's going to find it very hard to forget, but she's going to try. Right now, I'm rolling my eyes. Oh dear. Let's hope we can get past this. I'm tired. I'm tired. The negativity is draining me. Anyway, let's hope these two can get back on an even keel. Coming back to Jason. Yes, Jason, the stroppy little boy. He's still in bed. Not in the mood to talk to anybody. Not in the mood to do anything. What you see next was Bryce and Melissa coming to find out what's wrong. And he's saying he's over it. He's over it. He just wants to go home. Big kid. That's what you call a big kid. You saw him telling Bryce and Melissa what happened last night after they left. Yeah, he's going into one about it. I'm not going to go there again. But what you see next is Bryce saying, let's get you out of this mood. Come and play tennis with us. He doesn't want to do anything, but Bryce drags him out of bed anyway. So it ends up being Bryce, Melissa, Johnny and Kerry that are playing tennis, whilst Jason sits on the side watching. Still in a stroppy mood. Can't get himself out of this mood. This is probably what he does at home. As the mum and sister were saying, when he's in that mood, you just need to leave him. Leave him my arse? If he was my child, he'll get one kick up the arse. Big grown-ass 35-year-old man. Behaving like a 5-year-old. How ridiculous does that look? We then saw Brett and Booker having a game of, I'm not even too sure what you call it, to be honest. These wood sticks in the ground and them trying to knock it down. Haven't got a clue what it is. We don't play that in England. Not sure what that is. But anyway, they were getting close. They were getting to know each other, relaxing, chilling, and just having fun. That was nice to see. Yeah, finally we got some movement going on there. The next thing we saw was Kerry and Johnny putting on a pizza party, a pizza night. So they were hosting this party. Everyone was invited. Everyone turned up, but we had the usual latecomers, Bryce and Melissa. They're always late. Why are they always late? They're always the last ones to the party. Ugh. As we would expect, the tensions were high when Bryce and Melissa turned up with Beck and Jake. Beck was saying that she was ghosting him. She's not really looking to resolve anything here. I don't know. But things gradually calmed down where that was concerned. So everybody looked like they were having a good time. Except for Alana and Jason. They were still not talking to each other. When you saw these two having their group discussions with their boys and their girls, they both came to the same conclusion. They weren't going to speak to each other tonight. No, it's still too raw. Yeah. Jason wasn't going to speak to her anyway. He said from the beginning of the day to Bryce. He said, no, not speaking to her tonight. No, he was adamant. He wasn't speaking to her tonight. She would take it either way, to be honest. If he approached her now, she would speak to him. But I know if she had approached him, he would ignore her. Yep. That's his character. The big kid. You also saw Bryce trying to convince Jason that he's overreacting. We know that you like Alana. You've listed the things about her that you like. You're just upset at the moment. And then you saw Melissa speaking to Alana, telling her about how Jason was talking about her earlier, what he liked about her. That made her teary-eyed. Yeah, she's thinking, oh, he is thinking about me. Oh, he does like me. Yeah, that's how she's thinking. I'm not falling for that. Not falling for it at all. Because we're going to be there again tomorrow. No, I'm going to say 2 days from now. We're going to be back at square one 2 days from now. Crying over the same thing. Not talking. The whole 9 yards. But however, when she was getting all emotional, you saw Jason looking at her from across the barbecue or, the pizza party. Seeing her being emotional got him emotional. Yeah, we know how this goes. It's the same pattern. So the next thing you saw was Alana get up from her seat and walk away. She just needed some space, time to herself. And with seeing her emotional, you saw Jason shortly follow behind her to see if she was okay. I've got nothing to report. Nothing was resolved. They didn't come to any resolution. They were still going around the same argument about Bryce. They just couldn't agree. It's like, let's agree to disagree. That's where we're at. So these two are taking time out because they just don't know where to go from here. That's the solution. They're taking time out. And just to add, he's also looking for an apology from Alana. Yes, you heard me. He's looking for an apology. You know what? I'm done. End of story. We then heard Bryce be very critical of this pizza party. He turned around and said, the food's good, the beer's cold, but the banter's pretty awful. Something like that, he said. He said he's been to better pizza parties, but start low and work your way up. Cheeky bugger. That's exactly what he said. Start low, but work your way up. And these were the same people, Kerry and Johnny, that he was playing tennis with earlier today. Kiki him, laughing his head off with. You dumb arse. Absolutely dumb arse. And I swear to God, if he was to go over to them right now, Kerry and Johnny, the same people he was playing tennis with earlier today, he'll turn around and say, oh, good party, guys. Good party. Wicked. And smile his head off. I can't deal with two-faced people. And on top of that, you've got his wife, his dutiful wife, standing by his side, smiling for the cameras. Didn't say a bloody word. Oh, I can't. She's such a mug. Apologies. Let me take back my words. The next thing that happened was Bryce turn around and say, oh, this is boring. This is boring. The guy had the bloody nerve. He actually had the nerve. Bold as brass. Bold as brass. Oh, this is boring. Oh, dear. It was shortly behind Bryce mentioning it being boring that Belinda brought up the subject of the elephant in the room. Yep, Belinda. She said you can feel the tension and things need to be addressed and that things have been awkward. And then it was Bryce that turned around and said, why is it awkward? Why is it awkward? No one wanted to speak. Everybody's looking at each other to think, who's going to talk? Who's going to say something? And I think it was Patrick that spoke next. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. He said that when you have a big fight, there's always going to be tension. And then Belinda continued by saying at the start of the night, there was an awkward energy when you two walked in. And then it was, what's his name? New guy, Liam, that spoke. He turned around and said something like, let's just rip the band-aid off. Yeah. Let's get to the crunch of things. You walked in and not an apology. That's virtually what he said. No apology whatsoever. And Bryce's question was, who should be apologising to who? Liam turned around and said, well, there's nothing from you this morning. And then Bryce turned around and said behind that, have you not noticed that we're living in our palace over there? I'm thinking, what? Everybody else thought the same thing. Palace? Oh, he's living in a palace. The cheeky bugger. These two went back and forth for a little while with the apology thing. I just thought, I can't get into this. This is ridiculous. And then eventually Bryce got up to make an announcement. He actually got up and apologised to the whole group. He said, I apologise to the whole group. Then there was a pause. And then he said that someone's playing mind games with my wife. Yes, that's what he said. He was being cocky. The rest of the group were just, oh, here we go. Why can't he just be straightforward and apologise? So there was a lot of back and forth. I think Brett said something about, yeah, why can't you just say sorry? Why does there have to be that flip comment on the back of it? Just say sorry. He eventually did say sorry, with his wife Melissa standing by his side now. Oh, this woman, I just don't get it. It's like, oh, let me go and support my husband. He's on his own. This guy can stand alone. He can stand alone. He has no problem with that. You then saw Jake say something. Can't remember what it was. He didn't get a chance to finish what he was saying before Bryce came over and shook his hand and crowned him King of the Experiment. Yes, King of the Experiment. That's what he said. And then you saw him go over and try to do the same to Beck, but he tried to go in for a kiss on the cheek. Ugh. That was Beck's reaction, and that's my reaction too. Where was he going with that? Invading her space in that way. That was disgusting. It was disgusting. And on top of that, he also crowned her Queen of the Experiment. Yes, Queen of the Experiment. This guy's a friggin' idiot. He's a dickhead. With him doing that, making that move, everything went left. Everything went left. Everybody was having a go at him now. The men and the women. Oh, it just got messy. Absolutely messy. And then you got his Stepford wife standing right by his side, not saying a friggin' word. Mug Melissa. Oh dear. This is messy. You had Beck in tears, and then when Bryce was walking off, he was saying, oh, they're fake tears. They're fake tears. Oh dear. In this case, I don't think they were fake tears. I don't think so. That was disgusting. Disgusting behaviour. And when going back to his palace, as he called it, you saw his wife caressing him. Holding him like to say, are you okay? It's all right, darling. Am I seeing this? Am I actually seeing this? Melissa, rather than tell him off, no, she didn't tell him off. She wouldn't. She'd be too afraid to lose him if she says a word. Oh, I give in. I bloody give in. Fast forward to the next morning. You saw everybody doing the usual, talking about last night. This has become a pattern. Always talking about what happened last night. Are we ever going to get away from this? Are we ever going to get away from the drama? We also saw Jason. Yes, Jason. Reflecting on the events of last night. Even he had to say, Bryce went too far. Yes, even he had to say it. And with that, he's reflecting on how he treated Alana now, when he lost his temper with Alana, and that she didn't deserve that. Now he's saying he needs to apologise. Yes, he needs to apologise. Earlier on, we saw him saying that she needed to apologise. How the tables have turned. I'm so glad he's waking up. I'm so glad he's waking up. But at the same time, I'm not living on hope. Because those same actions will resurface. Mark my words. We actually saw Jason go and apologise to Alana outside on the lawn somewhere. Yeah. So he did the apologising first, and then she came on the back of it to apologise to him as well. Yeah, I'm not going to go into all of it. We've been here before. and they both kissed and made up. Like I said, we've been here before. I have nothing more to say. Next, we saw Belinda having a conversation with Patrick about Melissa. It's always her and Bryce. And when it came to the argument last night, there was nobody there to support her. We all crowded around Beck, but we forgot about Melissa. So Belinda took it upon herself to go and have a word with Melissa today. So she's gone to the palace. I'm going to call it the palace from now on. She's gone to the palace to have a word with Melissa. I think Melissa was very surprised to see her, to be honest. She doesn't really get visitors, does she? Yeah, so those two got chatting on the porch. And she was saying after the events of last night, she really wanted to find out what it is that Melissa sees in Bryce. What is it about his personality that we don't see? That's what she said. So Melissa listed quite a lot of things. She described him as funny, charismatic, always able to put her in a good mood. He's also thoughtful and caring, and she's never felt so protected. That's what she said. And behind that, Belinda says, I wish the group could see that, because all we see is the negativity. But I notice how you two are very supportive of each other. So there's got to be something there. That's really what she was saying. Oh dear. I don't know. I don't know what to think. When talking to the camera, Melissa did say she really appreciated Belinda coming over to actually ask questions about their relationship, because throughout this whole experience, no one's personally asked her that question. So she really did appreciate somebody being actually interested in knowing more. You later saw Belinda in the kitchen with Bryce and Melissa, inviting them to something that she's putting on tonight, which is a girls' night and a boys' night. Melissa was up for it, but Bryce was a bit, we'll see. I think he's not ready for the confrontation with the other guys. But Melissa would like to go to be able to speak to the girls and, speak her truth, if you want to put it that way. Yeah. So we're just going to wait and see whether this happens or not. So fast forward to the girls' night and the boys' night. Everyone was on a high. Everybody excited. But we were still waiting on Bryce and Melissa. So Belinda took it upon herself to go and see where Melissa was, only to find out that they are no longer coming. I think Melissa was up for it, but Bryce wasn't up for it. She said that Bryce is not feeling the greatest. Yep, that's what she said. So she feels that she needs to stay at home with him to look after him. That's what she said. Oh dear. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You could see the girls were all disappointed for Melissa not to come. Yeah, Beck turned around and said, that's more Bryce holding her back. She could have come. But Melissa being Melissa, she's not going to leave Bryce's side. So that's really where she was coming from with that. And then with the other girls, they were very much like, I would have loved to have just sat down with her, girl on girl, and let's just talk about anything and everything. We just want to hear her side. Just want to hear her point of view on things. Yeah. Well, the opportunity didn't arise. Now, when it came to the boys' night, they too would have liked to have heard from Bryce. They really thought he was going to turn up. And as Jason says, I don't agree with everything that Bryce does, but he's still my mate. You know what? That type of talk just sounds so silly. It sounds so stupid. If you don't agree with it, why don't you form an opinion? You just let him do whatever he wants to do. And you just tapping him on the back. Yeah, well done, mate. That's how it comes across to me. Have an opinion. Tell him he's doing wrong. Say something about he's your mate. Continuing on with the boys' night, we saw a conversation with Jake about his relationship with Beck and that they haven't done the deed. They only just started kissing last week. Johnny was sitting there in shock to think, hang on, how long have we been on this experiment? You've been here longer than I have and you haven't done anything? That was Johnny's expression. Yeah. Jake's not too sure what to do with it or where to take it now. He needs her to take the lead because he just doesn't know where he sits with her. But as he said, he needs to have that conversation with Beck. And yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. When Jason was talking into the camera about Jake's relationship with Beck, he was shocked. He's thinking, hang on, if nothing has happened now, you're virtually flogging a dead horse. That's the words he used. They are my words. Flogging a dead horse. Yes. She's not into you. Coming back to the girls' night, when they were asking Beck about her relationship with Jake, she's saying that he's got a lot of nice qualities. There's a spark there, but it's not consistent. That's virtually what she said, in a roundabout way. I'm trying to keep it short because this girl is just wasting our time. She's just wasting our time. She's not into him. She never has been into him. From the first day she met him, she wasn't into him. Why have you wasted our time? Why are you here? Why are you here? Oh dear. Waste of time. Again, coming back to the boys' night, they were now talking about if they weren't matched with who they were matched with in this experiment, who else within the experiments would they be attracted to? Yep, that was a question. Nearly everybody said Kerry. They just loved her personality, her down-to-earthness, just her jolliness. Johnny's sitting there thinking, that's my woman. That's my woman. Big smile on his face, knowing that she's mine. Yeah. This guy is on cloud 9. Big grin on his face. He is on cloud 9, knowing that I've bagged her. She's mine. Yep, she's mine. Coming back to the girls' night, the question was put to Kerry about Johnny. Is he blessed in the downstairs department? Yes, you know where I'm going with this. And I don't think she answered that question, but she did say that when it comes to their sex life, that he has a habit of narrating, as in talking about what he's going to do to her. Yeah, he's that type of person. It's like, I'm just thinking, oh my God, okay. So every movement, he's going to tell you what he's going to do before he does it. Wow, that's different. That's different. Ah, dear. Each to their own. Each to their own. That was funny to hear. So when the girls' night and boys' night had ended, you saw these guys go back to their room, conversing with their partner about how the night had gone. So there was no drama at all tonight. That's a first. That is a first. But anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. So if you like what you heard, please like, comment and subscribe. Till next time.